Driver, start your engine! In the beginning, stock cars outran the police to deliver the hooch to our ancestors. So sweet. Are you ready for a trip down victory lane, where Richard Petty's winnings were insane and Dale Earnhardt put everyone to shame? Canadian Junior Handley is in the Hall of Fame. Live from Haldeman County, it's time for the Driver in Deep podcast. Are you ready?
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the Driver in Deep podcast for episode 44 now. Of course, my name's Mark and I'm here again with my co-host Alex Nagy, and we can't thank you enough for listening to our podcast. So it's been about 3 weeks, Alex, since I've seen you, but you know, we got together for a change when we went out for dinner the other night, which I believe was the first night things started to open up around here again.
Yeah, it's been a while for whatever reason, but yeah, I mean, you guys were away for a while. The Bills lost, so you seemed to go into hiding for a couple, 3, 4, 5 days. And, you know, you've been really busy cleansing your soul or whatever it is you were doing with that cabbage. So listen, you also must have been up to something else, because I offered to go disc golfing last Sunday, take a leap into the deep snow, and you passed. But as it turned out, Sandy and I picked up your bride. We went disc golfing in Brantford at Mohawk Park and had a blast. It was actually quieter and a lot less instruction with you not there. So it was actually a great day.
I don't even know where to start to respond, but how about this?
How about you just leave it?
No. Of course. You think I'm going to let that go? I didn't disappear after the Bills KC game. And, you know, watching Kansas City play Cincinnati, it really proved my point that the Chiefs had nothing left in the tank, especially in the second half of that game. You know, Mahomes was garbage. And, you know, that only leads me to the only conclusion that makes any sense, Alex. You know, I, like many other people, believe the Bills were the best team in the playoffs this year. And I have no doubt that we're right about that. But unfortunately, in a one-game playoff, sometimes the best team doesn't win. But I do really like our chances for next year. And as far as disc golf was concerned, I had work to catch up on that I really couldn't wait for. And also, I knew there was a ton of snow out there, and I really didn't want to lose a bunch of discs. But how did you make out?
Well, I'm going to back up to the football thing. You're right.
I'm right. Listen, okay, let's keep moving forward then.
You're right about this. The Bills have a decent football team that a hell of a quarterback. But as you get deeper into the playoffs, the best teams win. Mahomes was garbage. Yeah, I mean, he was good enough to Bills, but he wasn't good.
Well, there you froze and your eyes are closed, so I don't know if I'm going to get you back here or not. And then she stops. Oh, here's Alex again. So I just assumed we agreed on the Bills because that's what you said. I was right.
No. I agreed.
All right.
That. Listen, the Bills are a good team, and they have a hell of a quarterback.
All right, so we're moving on from that.
The problem is
here's
the quarterback can't win you a Super Bowl.
Should have known better. Really? Joe,
really?
The quarterback can't win you a Super Bowl?
If he has a good team around him, the quarterback by himself can't.
Right. In a one-game playoff, anything can happen.
And that's why Mahomes looked bad. That's why Mahomes looked bad, because as you get deeper into the playoffs, you play better teams. And the better team beat Kansas City. They actually, notice how they even lost the Buffalo Bills coin flip and defended and actually defended and won the game.
Because Mahomes was garbage in the second half. It made no difference.
Better teams make you garbage.
Made no difference. You could have put Kansas City on the 20-yard line of Cincinnati and they wouldn't have scored because he was garbage.
Anyways, listen, in a couple of weeks, well, a week and a half from now, you're going to see who the best team in football is.
And you think it's Cincinnati?
I didn't say that.
Well, I'm just curious. Who do you think's going to win? Are you? Do you have any?
You know, I'm going to take the Rams.
Yeah. Well, we both agree on that.
And anyways, as far as disc golf goes, it was awesome. because you weren't there. And, you said, how did I make out?
I know. It's tough being in my shadow, played. Alex. I get it.
I just played. But, dude, I looked like a hero. I had 2 good-looking women with me.
Yeah.
Single guy, 2 good-looking women. It was good.
Single guy, yeah. Oh, all right. Well, I did try to explain to Joni before that she throws her forehand great, but she should be looking for an understable disc if she wants to try to improve on her backhand. And I explained it to her, but of course she didn't listen to me. Then you and Sandy and her go to True North Disc Golf in Brantford and see our buddy Jeff there, who's an awesome disc golfer. But then Jeff suggests to Joni, hey, you should look for an understable disc for your backhand. And guess what? She comes home and buys it and shows it to me.
Not only that, she bought 2.
Yeah, well, at least they're the 2 that I know of anyway.
Jeff's a good guy. He cuts me good deals. I went over to him. I said, listen, that girl right there is ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
She's going to buy something. So sure enough, he tells her the big bunch of crap and she bought it.
Well, it was true.
No, it was. All kidding aside.
Yeah, it was. It was all true. But okay, so that leads me to a question, Alex. You've been married a very long time. I'm not sure how many years, but I know it's a long, long, long time.
Makes 2 of us. I'm not sure how many years either. And if she'll kill me, but I don't. I got to look at the calendar.
But okay, so explain this from all your years of experience of being married. Why don't our wives listen to us at times?
Dude, you've been married how many times?
3 years.
How many times you've been married?
Obviously, I didn't learn.
And you're asking me for advice?
You might have done it right. And at least
I did.
Yeah, well, then tell me, why don't our wives listen to us at times?
So first off, if you're expecting them to listen to you, you're going to be on your next marriage. Dude, just go. Just roll.
Just let it go. I did.
It's all good.
That's what I did. I'm asking you, though. I'm not asking Joni. Why don't you listen to me? I didn't even say, by the way, that's what I told you.
Joni's going to listen to this episode, and she's going to be all over you. You should have just let it go. See, you just can't let it go.
She's not going to go. Do you think she's going to listen to this episode?
She is after I tell her what you said.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyways, all right. Enough of this.
All right.
Back to motorsports here. Listen, we have Connor James on with us today, who I'm sure is going to be another excellent guest. I'm looking forward to it a ton. And also in the NASCAR front, things are heating up. They're off to the season opener, if you will, with the Clash at LA Coliseum this weekend. That looks
really cool.
Yeah, I love what they're doing. A bunch of skepticism out there, but yes, I mean it won't be like anything else they do, but I think it's great when you step outside the box. They'll have a concert. Yeah. DJ playing during cautions, and by the looks of it, the DJ may be busy, but I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, how NASCAR's made some mistakes along the way, and that's caused them to lose some fans. And I think that this is a really great job trying to do different things to try to capture a new or younger audience, and they've invested a lot of money to do it. I mean, the report was $1 million. Yeah, so. One of the things, though, that I've been thinking of is about with a new car that's being introduced this year, and they have such limited inventory now, like, are they going to be willing to tear stuff up in this race if the race goes that way?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I guess with a small racetrack like that, speeds will be down. I think they'll be okay. Some say because of that, it's going to turn into a bit of an exhibition race, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Listen, once a driver straps his helmet on, it's go time.
Mm-hmm.
His or her helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. The number one thing that stood out for me when I read the press release is that 70% of the ticket buyers for the Clash have never previously ever bought tickets to a NASCAR event. So it's already worked in terms of who they're getting to the event. Now, if they just turn this into an exhibition and they don't go full out, that's an opportunity lost as far as I'm concerned. I think they need to give them a real race here. So I really hope that we're not seeing, hey, you go by, your turn to take the lead. Like, I hope it doesn't turn into that. I really hope that this is a real race. And if they're trying to build some international fans, Alex, maybe a future event at the Rogers Center would make some sense. Just saying. By the way, did you happen to see who won the late model race at Speedfest in Georgia last week?
I did, but I'm going to back up a bit to the NASCAR thing first. And first off, with a bunch of new fans, you can get away with more non-traditional type racing, if you will, and they're going to like it, which is great. But these drivers aren't going to make it a joke. They're going to run. And I'll tell you, when you said that, it made me think of Tony Stewart and Ray Evernham's SRX series they started last year, kind of made for TV, exhibitionist type racing with former stars and current stars. Did a hell of a job. And I'll tell you, it killed it on TV, and traditional fans loved it. So,
great.
I think this is going to be good. I can't wait. I think it's good. I tell people all the time that our fan base is getting older, and if we don't do something about introducing new fans, we're all going to be in trouble. So the big dog's leading the way here, and I think that's great. And getting back to Bubba. Yeah, I saw that, man. And after some struggles, last year or so, he struggled. But part of that is the fact that, he's been busy. But one thing I know for sure, when Bubba Pollard gets on a roll, it's trouble for the other competitors.
I really think it's going to be interesting this year with the changes they've made to the car. The cream's going to rise to the top. There's always ups and downs, but I do think it's going to look different this year than it did last year. Like I just mentioned, the cream is going to rise to the top, just like the Sabres are going to in 2022 here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bubba rose to the top. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, the Sabres.
You like my new sweatshirt?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's why we have to get video. Because people will not believe that they actually make a Sabres hoodie.
What do you mean? I got several.
Listen. You're the only one who buys them. I'm sure they're cheap as hell. You probably get them at the thrift shop.
It was a gift.
What do you say we bring Connor in?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Okay, you can find Connor James at connorjamesracing.com or search for him on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And here he is from Hamilton, Ontario, Connor James. Thanks for joining us on Driver in Deep, Connor.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm going to surprise you right off the top here, Bobby. As Mark mentioned, we appreciate you coming on. Now, we're not recording audio or video, so people can't see you laughing right now. But, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to start out this way. But so tell me, it's funny. I got a note from somebody to ask you about this, about how you got the nickname Bobby and where it came from. Let's get this out of the way right away.
Yeah, we got to get that one out of the way. My good buddy, Rick Walt there.
Oh, was it Ricky? I don't know. I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Don't worry. No, Ricky and I are good buddies, and we got a friend that we played video games with online from down south, and it's funny, he had me on Facebook there, and he says, hey, you ever watch that show King of the Hill, and Bobby Hill in there? I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. So I searched him up real quick, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. Now I know it's
I love that show.
Ricky told me that he sent you a message there, and
he told you. Okay.
I didn't expect him to come up this quick.
Well, I thought we better get it out of the way, and Ricky would be proud of me.
Yeah. Well, listen, Connor, I'm sure you weren't expecting that one, but anyway, I can't wait to hear what you have going on for 2022. But before we get there, I'm always curious to find out how our guests get started in racing and what division you started in. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll go back to when I was like 4 or 5 years old. My family grew up around, we kind of grew up around the motocross scene. My dad, they were involved with Fox Canada. So I actually started off on 2 wheels before I got onto 4.
Just like Joe Plazik.
What's that, sorry?
Just like dirt racer Joe Plazik.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I got to, I think the age of 9 or 10 there, we went up to Grand Bend Speedway one time, and we seen the junior late models running there. And I kind of gave my dad the elbow there and said, hey, I kind of want to try this out. And at the time, he was racing Thunder cars and late models in Peterborough, Kawartha, Mosport. And so when I think I was 10, and we hopped into that for 5 years and got the hang of things pretty good. And then from there, we moved on to mini stocks a few years later, and we took a break for a personal reason. And then back in 17, my dad got me a modified, and ran that a few times, and then got into a bunch of other things from then on.
Yeah, and you said there about your dad racing that Peterborough, Corth, Mossport, and we said at the start that you're from Hamilton, but that's where you reside now. But ultimately, I think you're from the Bradford area, right? Just so people. So how did you end up? Ultimately, you ended up making Sunset your home track. Is that fair?
Yes, I still call it my home track, kind of, because that's where I ran my first kind of full season of mini stocks, and then we moved on to the late model stuff, right? So that's kind of where I got a lot of my racing in. So I kind of consider Sunset my home track.
Gotcha. And you mentioned junior late models, and I'm sure you're aware of it, but they've never went away. But I think there's a bit of a resurgence going on right now with that division, which I think is great because it's a really good way for young people to get involved. So, for me, it always interests me. Tell us when did you know that racing, this racing thing was something that you wanted to pursue pretty hard? At what point?
Yeah, I think it was I remember to this day when we picked up my first junior late model off of West Tanner, and we picked it up and we got our own decals on it. And I remember the first day trekking out to Grand Bend from Bradford. It was me and Brandon Bullen at the time, and we went out there, and it was our first times out there, both of us, and we had a blast, man. We caught onto it quick, and I think it was right off the bat of just strapping to a car for the first time, and it was I loved it. It was awesome.
So you mentioned Brandon, who still races today, and anybody else that's still racing now that you raced with back in those junior late model days?
Oh gosh, yeah, Brandon McFerrin is a person that comes to mind because he kind of came into the scene right when I did. We kind of started together. Actually, our first year there was actually a touring series, which was pretty cool because we went from Grand Bend to Varney and the old Sunset before they redid it all. And I think there was another. I think we might have hit Delaware too, because Delaware has them cars as well, right? And Brady Smith, he runs pro late models in Delaware.
Yeah.